The barrage of bullets sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Bruce Shie was just raided after violating the terms of his release only 3 months after getting out. What was supposed to be a second chance quickly turned into another setback. Behind all the celebration of his first day out, the Memphis rapper was moving reckless, and it ultimately cost him his freedom again. While his first day out track racked up over 25 million views and took shots at the feds, they were already watching closely. Once you're on federal supervision, every move matters. And the truth is, what brought him down was more predictable than anyone wants to admit. We're about to break down exactly how he fumbled the bag. Before all of this happened, Bruce Shie was supposed to be enjoying a fresh start. Instead, federal agents pulled up and hit him with a parole violation. And no, this didn't come out of nowhere. From the moment he came home, he was moving like he didn't care about the conditions attached to his freedom. In fact, it almost looked like he was daring the system to send him back. For those who haven't been keeping up, Shie came home early after serving just under 5 years of what was originally an 8-year sentence. The feds had been pushing for up to 20 years, but his lawyers managed to get it reduced. Still, getting out early on federal parole means you're on the tightest leash possible. Curfews, check-ins, and strict rules come with the territory. But instead of laying low, he acted like the rules didn't apply. One moment that really raised eyebrows was during his appearance on Ben the Don's stream, when his parole officer called asking where he was. He was supposed to be home for curfew, yet he was still outside. Even worse, he lied to his PO while live on camera. Ben immediately muted the mic, knowing that was the kind of mistake that could send someone straight back behind bars.
Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Trey Williams. Yeah, I'm at the house.
Yeah, keep it.
All right. Just go, kid. Go make a right. No. You said what? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, man. Check it again. That's where I live at. That's where I live at. Refresh it. That's where I live at. Look. I ain't lying to you. I ain't playing no game.
You can mute the joint right now, Trey.
I don't play like that.
That's some seriously reckless behavior, and the wild part is this wasn't a one-time mistake. Pooh Shiesty has been moving like he's untouchable since the moment he stepped back outside. He was all over social media, flexing jewelry, cars, and still talking that street talk, acting like he wasn't technically still a federal inmate on supervised release. But this situation goes way deeper than just missing curfew. See, Pooh Shiesty has been telling on himself through his music. In one of his lyrics, he flat out says, "Out on paper with the fully ARP sitting on my counter." And let's be real, Pooh isn't known for rapping fiction. When he puts something in his bars, that's usually his real life. For anyone who doesn't understand how serious that is, an ARP refers to a fully automatic weapon, something that is absolutely forbidden for anyone on federal supervision. What makes this even crazier is that he wasn't even fully free yet. As part of his release conditions, Pooh Shiesty was staying in a halfway house. For those who don't know, when federal inmates get released early, they don't just go straight home. They're placed in a transitional facility where they have to sleep every night, follow strict rules, and slowly earn privileges. There are curfews, limited movement, and you need permission for almost everything, from traveling to certain jobs. You also can't be around other felons or known gang members. And when it comes to federal supervision, there's no room for error. Federal parole officers don't play around. They can search your residence at any time, drug test you randomly, and send you right back to prison for even minor violations. For someone like Pooh Shiesty, who's known as the head of Choa Gang, the scrutiny was always going to be even heavier. The feds don't just watch the individual, they watch the entire circle. Every move, every associate, Every post gets monitored. Now let's rewind to how he ended up in this position in the first place. This wasn't his first run-in with the law, and his history shows a clear pattern of risky decisions. Back in 2020, Pooh Shiesty was tied to multiple incidents that put him squarely on the federal radar. The main case involved him setting up a meet, robbing the victim, and then shooting them during the robbery. That case is what ultimately sent him away, and it's the same type of behavior that's now threatening his freedom all over again.
Now, in just one station, surveillance cameras showing a new view of a violent shootout in a parking lot of a South Florida apartment building. The barrage of bullets sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail.
According to court documents, this wasn't a random act at all. Prosecutors say the incident was planned and deliberate, not something that happened in the heat of the moment. The evidence suggests there was intent behind the meetup, with the goal being robbery from the start. This wasn't a situation that spiraled unexpectedly. It was a calculated move that quickly turned violent, drawing serious federal attention and ultimately leading to the charges that sent him to prison.
And it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Rhode Island says you're wanted. With it.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest.
Federal investigators say this incident fit into a larger pattern of violent behavior they had already been monitoring, and it didn't stop there. In a separate case, he was linked to a shooting at a nightclub after allegedly having money taken from him. During that situation, shots were fired and a security guard who was simply doing his job was injured in the chaos. That incident only added to the growing list of concerns law enforcement already had about his actions.
Popular rapper arrested. He's accused of shooting a security guard at a South Florida gentleman's club and will remain behind bars. A judge denied bond for 21-year-old Lontrell Williams.
Real talk, when you move like that in the streets, you're not only putting yourself in danger, you're putting innocent people at risk too, people who are just trying to earn an honest living. Federal prosecutors built their case around multiple incidents, including armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, and conspiracy charges. They painted Pooh Shiesty as someone who resorted to violence first, not as a last option. In court, they argued he was a serious threat to the community and pushed for the full 20-year sentence. His legal team fought hard, pointing to his age, his success as an artist, and the possibility of rehabilitation. That effort paid off, reducing the sentence to 8 years. Still heavy time, but far less than the 2 decades prosecutors wanted. When Pooh Shiesty finally came home, everything was lined up for him. His first day out record was going crazy. Plaques were rolling in, foreign cars were everywhere, and there were even rumors tying him to India Love. He had a real chance to build something legitimate. That song wasn't just music, it was a declaration. He was back, focused, and ready to dominate the rap game. For a moment, it looked like he might actually become a success story. But behind the scenes, the streets were saying otherwise. People close to him claimed he never fully left the street mindset behind. Same circles, same talk, same reckless moves, acting like he was untouchable. The problem is, federal supervision doesn't miss anything. Your lyrics, your posts, your associates, everything is under constant watch. When you're rapping about automatic weapons while on supervised release, that's not just bars anymore, that's evidence. Things really blew up when Ben Dedon broke the news on his live stream. Mid-broadcast, Ben got a call about the raid. You could hear the shock in his voice when he learned the feds took everything and shut it all down. He tried to play it cool, but word was already spreading. In the clip that went viral, Ben can be heard telling the caller, "You remember that bet? I told you he was going back. He's going back."
You remember that bet when Buddy had this right here? And I told you, I was like, you going to jail?
Yeah.
He's going back.
The way he said it showed this wasn't completely unexpected.
The way Ben said it made one thing clear. This wasn't a total surprise. People who understood Pooh Shiesty's situation had already seen the signs. Still, things took an interesting turn when Ben later tried to walk it back on Twitter. He tweeted, "I understand y'all gotta get y'all money, but that's cap as F. Shiesty ain't have a MF thing to do with that call." Whether he was trying to deflect attention or protect his friend is unclear, but at that point, the facts were already coming out. Federal raids don't happen randomly. Agents don't just show up on a whim. They spend weeks, sometimes months, gathering evidence, tracking behavior, and building a solid case before making a move. Based on everything that followed, it's clear this operation was planned. They went to his location, found what they were looking for, and immediately took him back into custody. Soon after, every major hip-hop blog began reporting that Pooh Shiesty was locked up again. DJ Academics later confirmed it using federal prison records, which listed his real name, Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr., along with his inmate number, and a release date of April 11, 2026. That date matters. It was his original release date before he was granted early release. That alone tells us this wasn't about new charges, but a parole violation. This situation isn't about one mistake. It reflects a pattern that suggests Pooh Shiesty never fully treated his second chance with the seriousness it required. From the moment he came home, the streets were already questioning how he was moving. And for anyone unfamiliar with federal parole, here's the reality. When you're released early from federal prison, you're still serving your sentence, just outside the walls. The rules are strict. Curfews, mandatory check-ins, no weapons, no associating with known felons, no criminal activity, period. Break any of those rules and you're going straight back to finish your original time. The fact that his release date reverted to April 11th, 2026 strongly suggests this was a parole violation rather than a new case. If it were new charges, he'd be facing additional years. Instead, he's being made to serve out the remainder of his original sentence. What likely triggered the raid is still up for debate. Was it lyrics referencing weapons, being out past curfew, associating with prohibited individuals, or something discovered during a routine compliance check? Based on the timeline, it seems the feds had been watching closely for a while, stacking violations. His curfew slip on Ben's stream, his music lyrics, and possibly surveillance evidence. This wasn't one bad day, it was a buildup. But this story is bigger than just one rapper. It highlights a cycle that continues to trap young black men in the system. When you come from the streets, cutting ties completely isn't easy, especially when that same lifestyle is what made you famous. The industry plays a role too. Labels want authenticity. Fans want street credibility. Social media rewards reckless behavior. Artists end up stuck between staying free and staying real. For Pooh Shiesty, his brand was built on street energy, choppa gang, gun talk, raw stories. That image helped him blow up. But when you're under federal supervision, you can't live that brand anymore. You have to evolve. And unfortunately, he didn't. What makes this even sadder is the ripple effect. Young fans watch these artists closely. When someone gets a second chance and throws it away, it sends the message that change isn't possible. Pooh Shiesty had the platform to show kids from Memphis and beyond that you can come from the streets, pay your debt, and still build something legit. Instead, he became another cautionary tale. The financial loss is massive. Streaming revenue, show money, brand deals, all of it stops the moment you're locked up. His team, his family, and everyone depending on that income are left dealing with the fallout. And legal battles aren't cheap. His family likely spent hundreds of thousands the first time just to reduce his sentence. Now they may be facing those costs again. The label situation gets complicated too. Labels invest expecting returns. An artist violating parole puts that investment at risk. Some labels walk away, others put projects on ice. Either way, momentum dies fast. The most painful part? This was completely avoidable. All he had to do was follow basic rules. Be home on time, don't have weapons, don't rap about illegal activity while under federal supervision, don't associate with known criminals. Simple decisions that would have kept him free. Think about what 3 more years could have meant. Multiple albums, business ventures, building a real legacy. Instead, he'll spend that time watching the game move on without him. Halfway houses are meant to help with re-entry, but many are overcrowded, understaffed, and located in environments that make change harder, not easier. For someone with fame and money, that structure might not have been enough. The parole system itself is also part of the issue. It's more punitive than rehabilitative. One mistake, sometimes not even a new crime, can send you right back. But the rules exist to protect the public, especially when someone has a history of violence. And when those rules are repeatedly broken, the system responds. So what happens now? Pooh Shiesty is set to be released on April 11th, 2026, assuming no further issues. That gives him about 15 months to reflect and reset. But the industry will be different when he returns. New artists, new sounds, lost momentum. Restarting won't be easy. His legal team may try to appeal or seek early release again, but that uphill battle just got steeper. Courts don't look kindly on wasted second chances. The best move now is to use the time wisely, write, learn, grow, and actually change, not just talk about it. The real question is this: when he gets out in 2026, will things be different or will history repeat itself? This story isn't just about Pooh Shiesty. It's about choices, environment, and what happens when opportunity meets discipline, or the lack thereof. For anyone watching, especially those on parole or probation, the message is simple: freedom is a privilege. Don't throw it away trying to impress people who won't be there when you're locked up.